Alrighty, boys. I don't know exactly what to say, but I do know the biggest thing that everything comes down to, especially I'll speak personally in my life right now. I'm learning to detach as much as possible, because I can't be addicted to control. Right now, I'm at a point in my life, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people, especially you guys are at a point in life right now where it seems as if when everything seems to be falling apart, it seems as if everything is so unclear or just a little bit foggy or confusing, as if you're walking through the wilderness. It seems as if you just have no control over what's going on. And I want to be your reminder that you do not need to control every single small piece and variable in your life. It is okay to let go and detach, as long as you know in your mind, as long as you know that you are keeping control of your own mind and of yourself, because that's all you can control. As long as you know that that is what you're focusing on, that's where your mental real estate and mental energy is going, right? To yourself, to your well-being, to your health, to your mind control, to your perception, to how you move throughout the day. If you are in control of what you can control, which is yourself and your mind, then you do not need to be trying to control every little external piece and variable of your life. Focus on you. Do what you can do. Say bucket, and detach. I had a quote from somebody who I respect and I look up to a lot, and he told me, "What would you do if you were not afraid? What would you do if you weren't afraid?" And it meant a lot to me, because you can act in fear, but what would you do if you were acting through fear? What would you do if you were not afraid? It goes to show that we as humans are so attached. We're so addicted to control, bro. And it's like the best times where I've experienced true bliss, and the best times where I experienced just God giving me so much, and the best times I've ever experienced, the most times where I've just been so abundant, is just when I simply let go, bro. And I find it that I'm not good at controlling the external variables in my life. I'm not good at it, bro. And I find it that it's actually way easier for me to attract and get and receive, because when I act as me, when I act as my highest version, which is just me being authentic, I receive so much more. When I'm authentic, I'm detached. When I'm authentic, I don't need. When I'm authentic, I don't lack. When I'm authentic, I just be. When I'm authentic, I love myself as intended, what God wanted me to do with me, for myself. God wants us to love ourselves, bro. So why would you act in lack and in need and in want, as if God hasn't already given you everything that you desire? So be authentic, because at the end of the day, you're not this finite body. You're just an energy. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it, bro. Simply match the frequency of the reality that you desire and deserve, and you can't help but get that reality, bro. Because simply being authentic is the highest form of energy that you can allow yourself to be. Authentic energy is you just being, and you as a being are never apart from God, because God is in you, bro. We're all a big collective consciousness, like a big ocean. I'm just one drop, bro. I'm just one drop. Not separate or above, but as one. meaning I'm never disconnected, meaning I can't lose. And if I can't lose, I'm always winning. If I'm always winning, then in life, whatever's happening is not against me, it's for me. So when I detach from the meaning that I've assigned as bad or good, there is no bad or low or good as high. There is no highs and no lows. There just is, right? There's no meaning attached to the highs of good and the lows of bad. There just is, bro. And when I detach from this meaning that I've given everything, and I've allowed myself to be and just know as if God has everything already done, because everything is already done. Especially when you know it is done, because your thoughts have shaped your reality. When your thoughts shape your reality, when your perception shapes your reality, and you act as if because you know, there's no way you can lose. So why do you try to control everything around you? If you truly know, then why do you try to control everything around you? If you truly know that it is done, right? If you truly know that you love God, if you truly know that God has never separated from you or forsaken you, then why do you act as if you need, lack, or want? Because you're uncertain, because you doubt yourself, and because you don't trust God. Let's be honest here. If you had to be completely honest, bro, you doubt, you lack, you need, you want. You lower your own self-worth because you act as if God is separate from you. You act as if God is nowhere near. You act, and I'm going to call you out and I'm going to challenge you. You act as if God has forsaken you. You doubt and you lack, you want, you need, because you truly don't believe that God is with you. Do you truly don't believe that God is in you? You don't love God. You don't love God. How can you love God and lack? How can you love God and act in need? How can you love God and act in want? How can you love God and doubt yourself and not trust yourself? You don't like God. I'd love to argue that you don't love God. You don't need to be religious as a Catholic, as a Christian, as a Muslim, in Islam, whatever it is, bro. Whatever state that you have chosen to act in that parts you from God and lowers your frequency is a sign that you do not love God. I'd love to argue that, bro. And I'm going to continue to challenge you, bro. Because if you really did, and if you really knew that God, who has never left you or forsaken you, is truly in you, bro, and has never left you or forsaken you, then you would be your most authentic self. You would just be as if it is already done. You would be the man that God has created you to be. You would do what the man would do that God has had you do. And you would have everything the man that you know you are supposed to be would have. Because God knows you're supposed to have those things. You know you're supposed to have those things. You think the random thought and desire that you had of having this bigger vision was random? It was placed onto you. It was placed onto you, bro. Not everybody has these big visions and thoughts. I've been on so many sales calls where people see other people living the life that they want to live. I get on so many sales calls where there are people who see the lives. They pick up their phone and see successful people living lives that they want to live. And they just rather watch. They would just rather watch, bro. These people would literally just rather watch, right? And then I get on a sales call with them because they are interested in knowing what these people are doing. And then they call it a scam. And then they doubt themselves. And then they lower their self-worth. And then they go back to living the pattern of how they've lived. Want to know why, bro? Because these people haven't been given the vision like you have, bro. These people haven't had the vision placed onto them like you have, bro. Now it is your responsibility. It is your duty. It is your birthright to have these things. Is it going to be easy? No. But it's simple. If other people have it, you can too. It is not rocket science to get to the place where you are trying to go, unless you're trying to do rocket science. Knock on wood. But it's not hard, bro. If you believe it's hard and it's going to take you 10 years, it's going to be hard and it's going to take you 10 years. But if you want it next month, go get that shit next month and make it happen. Because you can. I don't need to hype you up. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more bullshit motivation. Right? Scrolling down, gooning to motivation, motivation goon, Miami Brickle goon, SVJ gooning. You don't need any more of that shit, bro. You don't need any more penthouse views to watch, bro. You have to live in it like it is already done. As if it is already done. Stop watching these people online, comparing yourself, and thinking that it can never be you because there's something different. Unfortunately, bro, there is no such thing as the chosen one. The chosen ones choose themselves.